Thank God it's another beautiful Friday on your program, Morning Delight. My name is Akinlabi Toluwalashe. And as usual, I'm not the only one here. I have beautiful faces with me this morning. I have gentlemen and a beautiful lady, John, Jephthah, and Abiodun. Good morning, beautiful lady and handsome man.
This your hyping. This your hyping, sir, but no, nothing to hype about.
Can you imagine?
This hyping where they give, so
Who told you that?
I don't understand.
Was it your wife that told you that?
Money be fine, Bobo.
Jephthah, you are becoming something else.
I support you.
There's no money on ground. So there's no fine boy anywhere.
Good morning. How you doing?
Fine.
John, the way you answered me this morning is as if something is...
Many things are wrong. We just thank God for life. As a man of the house, when the right thing is not, when money no dey for pocket, make I mention her.
Yes.
And when you come to hear say cutlass go, they enter your... Well, yeah, you go when there are so many things to attend to. They bring motivation. Forget that, it no be today they happen.
The critical one.
Don't worry, God is in control.
Yes, God is in control. God no go shame us. Anyhow, God no go shame us.
Last, all of us.
God has been there for us.
He has ever been faithful. That is one thing I know.
So, Jeff, how are you doing?
We are playing alongside deep in the midfield. Yeah,
that's why we are sitting here.
So,
they will not understand.
He has already spoken the mind of we the midfielders today. So the same thing I said, but let's just thank God. We thank God for life.
They might not know much. They might not know much because they are sitting at the...
They are playing from the flanks. So you can understand. There are some things that is not expedient of them.
I don't understand.
Unless they want to help.
Are we on the field?
No. So what we are trying to say is, somebody said that for her, success is being alive. So if you are alive, then you are successful because there's always hope. So I'm taking a cue from her, and I feel I'm successful because I'm alive.
Yes.
Thank God for life. When there's life, there's hope.
There is hope. When there's life, there's hope. Truly. Abiodun, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank God for life also. Give God the glory. Today is 28th. October is moving ahead. So
yeah, just
I don't know whether people are
3 days
noticing what
ago,
I'm
3
noticing.
days ago.
These days, Abiodun is always shining in a different.
Didn't you see the pinky?
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Oh, better.
So do you have any plan for the weekend?
No plan.
Abiodun, don't mind them.
No plan.
Don't mind them.
My house choice and my house. That's what I have on the weekend.
Recently, we've not been attending. We have not heard anybody say I attended the wedding. I attended.
You know you were the president of the World Association.
No, don't bring that.
So you did a new election and you relinquished your position and became the treasurer. So nobody willing to take the seat from you. So and we are just there with the members.
With the floor members.
I don't understand what you're talking about. All right, let's move to the next segment, which is a newspaper review for this morning. And I have the Nigerian Tribune. Umahi Ayade's visit to Wike fuel speculation of alliance with APC. Umahi Ayade's visit to Wike fuels speculation of alliance with APC. The story is on page 23. Page 3, sorry. Sanwo-Olu Okowa Ayade presents 2023 budget estimates. Lagos governor prioritizes human capital, infrastructure, environment in 1.69 trillion naira budget. Story is on page 29. Nigerian farmers lost 80% crop yield to pest diseases in 2022, according to report. The report is on page 28. Naira redesign will not cause inflation, could lead to fall in GDP. The story is on page 7. Anxiety persists over terror alert. All hands on deck IGP assures, rolls out emergency numbers. UK warns citizens against traveling to FCT. Abuja Mall shut down operations. Stop million-man political rallies. Bolaji Akinyemi warns. FCTA distributes 60 operational vehicles for security agencies. You can read those stories on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. NNPC Health signs MOU with Daewoo to rehabilitate Kaduna Refinery. You can read the full story on page 7. Emefiele recommends flexible work models, training to reduce Japa movements. Emefiele recommends, because of the Japa, I want to read that. Emefiele recommends flexible work models, training to reduce Japa movements. You can read the full story on page 6. Will that reduce the Japa syndrome?
Some people have focused their mind already on
Living, no matter what.
No living, no.
no
Yes,
matter
sir.
what you tell them. They just believe that the rate of which you make it there is more
Is better.
than here, no matter
Better.
what we have here, no matter what we have here. So, and they're considering a whole lot. There, we are getting better. Here, we are just hoping
To be better.
to be better. So
And even consider the terror alert at Abuja.
Yes,
And you have,
Abuja.
and you're still telling them because of these things, they would not. Some people are, when there's security, then you are sure that at least you can still make it. But when there's insecurity, your life is even at stake. So who wants to wait?
So sometimes it's just that even when our governments make pronunciation, it is just audio. It is just audio announcements. At the end, you will not see anything. Look at this NPower program, and then at the time it was working when it first started,
Yeah.
but at the time it was not working again. And then some people have hijacked it and started diverting the fund to their pockets. So most of the times, government comes with a program. They meant well, but people at the ends of that affairs will later destabilize the system and divert the fund into their pocket. And that is why the ordinary, average Nigerian man will not get any results. So that's why people will better for them to japa than to stay in the environment that is not even working. Nothing is even, no hope at sight at all. So most people would even prefer that whatever it will take me, I just have to move.
All right. FAAC shares 760.235 billion naira for federal government, state, local governments as September allocation. The story is on page 6. Oyetola Makinde flag off 91-kilometer Oshogbo Iwo Ibadan Road reconstruction. The story is on page 19. And that's all from the Nigerian Tribune.
I have with me the Vanguard newspaper this morning and the major headlines. UK insists on terror alert as major mall shut operations. FCDA reclaims Buhari Law School land. FCDO advises British national against travelling to FCT, 13 states. Alleged raid of Trademore Estate by DSS, American Soldier Force, FCT Police. Abuja safe, FCT Minister declares. I expect Buhari to stop million march, Professor Akinyemi. Insists Nigeria lack capacity to pick intelligence report like US. After Nigeria, US issues alert on terror attack in South Africa. You can find all these stories on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. How police DPP negligence kept 23-year-old mechanic in prison for 9 years. I suffered for nothing. Victim. I found the story on page 13. I was looking about one video yesterday. One man was telling his encounter about suffering for nothing, also for nothing's sake, just sending him to prison for years. They just released him back.
Yeah, there are so many issues on that,
on ground.
Facts. All are prayers.
He was just narrating the story, and I was just feeling why is it that people don't understand this?
Why was he arrested?
He said he was coming from his site. He's always going to his site every weekend. He'll come from his site. So he was staying at the bus stop to enter bus to town, while a car just hit him on a run and he was unconscious. When he woke up, he met himself with a policeman in the hospital. They've handcuffed him for not doing anything. They say he was found at the spot of robbery section yesterday or something, that there was robbery around that place yesterday. God will
You
not help.
understand that?
Yeah, it's just, and another thing is the judicial system also. There was an exchange, but at the same time, the judicial system, what they do, they don't try people, they just put them there. To some extent, I've not been there, but there are people who are there that
They're just waiting for trial.
So you see people in these countries now, when you are being arrested, they say you have a right to an attorney, a lawyer. If you don't have the money, there are freelance lawyers, so to say, the state lawyers that can represent you with little or no money, which are not in Nigeria.
No, they have that page of the law. They have removed it.
So they are not really invoked in Nigeria, so to say. So most times, people don't have the access to take their cases to court because they can't afford
Even in
the
the first, sorry, Jeff, the first instance when you are arrested, you are a suspect. You should be put behind
Not a
the
criminal.
counter,
Yes.
not inside the cell. You understand? After 24 hours, if you are now found guilty of that offense before the trial starts, you will be locked up in the cell. Then the process will start. But that page in Nigerian law and police affairs, my prayer is just that none of us
It's true.
should just have
That
issue
man's
with
story was
policemen.
very
See, that
pathetic
man's
yesterday.
issue, it was an exchange. They do it very well. I have had someone who is close to me who has such experience. He was almost robbed, and at that time when he was about to be robbed, the police vehicle came into that scene coincidentally, and he just shouted for help. They helped him. Immediately they helped him and put him in the van like they are trying to rescue him. One of the police officers beside him was calling the police station and said, "We have found one of them." He said immediately he just find a chance, just a little chance, just jump out of the vehicle. That is how they will have just robbed him up. So there are so many manipulations like that. I feel sorry for the man.
That man's story was very
Just-
pathetic. It seems it was Vanguard that did the
Nigerian
story
police,
for him
I
yesterday.
beg, see them around. See snake, Nigeria police, leave snake.
Let's continue. NDDC Aqua must account for 300 billion naira contract awarded without due process. Umana. You can find the story on page 9. Man dies in Ondo hotel after sex romp. You can find the story on page 2.
What is he looking for?
He's enjoying himself now.
Enjoyment the key.
Enjoyment.
I hope they run belly.
If you want to read more, you can find the story on page 2. Zenith Bank gross earning up 20% to 620.6 billion naira in quarter 3 2021. You can find the story on page 3. Pension fund investment in corporate securities raises 43.9% to 1.4 trillion naira. You can find the story on page 19. Nigeria can't keep borrowing to fund agencies without duplicated functions, reps. I find the story on page 6. So our reps are saying we should stop. We cannot keep
Are they just
borrowing.
waking up
Maybe.
for the past 7 years?
So I
Cannot just keep
so I
borrowing
don't look
funds.
as if they are not talking. They just want to talk.
That's why I say
They know
it's
themselves, they are
audio
perfect.
announcement.
You can find the
It's
story
audio
on
announcements.
page 6 of the Vanguard. MMAIA concession aggrieved bidder sues 2 foreign firms. Federal government. You can find the story on page 7. Why federal government is keeping Nnamdi Kanu despite court's ruling, Malami. You can find the story on page 8. Sanwo-Olu presents over 1.669 trillion naira 2023 budget of continuity. You can find the story on page 7. Trapped foreign airlines fund raised 51% to $700 million. You can find the story on page 12. Warri Refinery, I will deliver fuel first quarter of 2023. Federal government. We hope so. You can find the story on page 6. Amen. And the picture story here is the presentation of Sanwo-Olu yesterday, the budget presentation yesterday at National House of Assembly, yesterday at Alausa, Lagos. And that's all from the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, John.
All right, I have the Punch with me this morning, and it's on terror alert. FG detains 35 suspected ISWAP fighters. Tension idents. UK issues fresh alert. IG releases emergency phone numbers. Calls for vigilance. FCTA demolishes shanties. Jabi shopping mall shut. Other facilities tighten security. Air Force to take delivery of additional fighter helicopters in December by CAS. That's on page, those stories are on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Then we have at the top of the paper, FG opens talks with investors on Lagos Calabar Rail on page 26. And Zenith Bank's Q3 earnings rise to 620 billion naira on page 29. And we have airlines spend $192 billion on Jet A1 by report. That's on page 26. Then you are wrong. Tinubu not selfish. Onanuga replies Akitoye. Onanuga replies Akitoye on page 24. Then we also have at the down part of the paper, Lagos Delta Cross River present 2.58 trillion naira budgets on page 25. Then Chidima transferred 5 million naira from Ataga's account by witness on page 4. The flood threatens 1.9 trillion naira CBN agric schemes loses mount on page 9. And lastly, from the Punch this morning is the photo news of Lagos recruits 423 firemen, boosts firefighting capacity on page 6 of the Punch newspaper. That will be all from me this morning.
All right, thank you for that. It's time to listen to sports updates from Oluwokila Sheon. Good morning, Sheon.
Good morning, guys. I'm happy with thank you. Starting with Formula One. Alpine have won their bid to overturn the penalty Fernando Alonso received in the United States Grand Prix. Of course, the two-time world champions was demoted out of the points after he finished 7th in a damaged car. And of course, after consultation and appeal, the Alpine, they have won that one. However, FIA stewards have reversed the decision, meaning that Alonso and Alpine retained the 6 points the sparring driver won from the race. And he looks very great for him. And they said, Alpine thanked FIA stewards for reaching a positive conclusion before the race in Mexico City. That's a very good one for Alonso in that zone. And he retains his point after the US Open. Of course, we wish him all the best of luck. And similarly, the Red Bull's punishment for breaking Formula One's budget cap will be reviewed today, Friday. And of course, the team have called a news conference yesterday and at the Mexican Grand Prix that will happen this weekend to discuss their penalty. It is understood that the team have come to an acceptable breach agreement with Formula One's governing body, the FIA. And of course, they said, and I quote, "We feel we are not wrong and things are taken into a budget cap that are very unexpected, but we have to deal with it." Verstappen said this, and of course, the penalty has not been revealed, but the speculation is that the Formula One suggests that it is going to be a multi-million-dollar fine and a reduction in permitted aerodynamics research and development. We bring the report as it's come after the penalty has been issued. And similarly, a penalty for Aston Martin for breaching, for committing a procedural breach will also be reviewed in that one. Of course, their own penalty was after the exceeded spending limit and also committed some administrative error. We will also bring you the report as it comes. In football, Italy stabbing, one death, and Arsenal player Pablo Mari among several injured in Italy. Of course, one person has died, and at least 5 other persons have been injured in seriously stabbing movement in Italy, in Milan yesterday, according to the city police in Milan yesterday. The local media also reported that a 30-year-old supermarket cashier died after a man started attacking people in Asago. Of course, among the injured was the Arsenal loanee, Pablo Mari, in yesterday. The man, a 46-year-old suspect, has been detained by the police, and they have also ruled out any terrorist motive in that one. But reports coming from Monza, the club of Pablo Mari, that the 29-year-old suffered a stab wound to his back, but the injuries are not life-threatening. That he's receiving treatment in the hospital, and he's going to get better very soon. Of course, he was at the supermarket with his wife and his son when the incident took place, and is currently receiving treatment in that one. On October 1, Spanish striker and football fanatics Santiago Sanchez posted a series of photos on Instagram, and of course, I quote, "Last village in northern Iraq, a mountain separates me from reaching Iran. The next country before reaching Qatar." That's what he wrote on his Instagram. But afterwards, nobody has heard from him since then. He has not been seen nor had any story from him until a report came that he has been detained by the Iranian police in their custody. And of course, after that one, they said he has been arrested and is now in Tehran prison. One of his friends, Franco Calamanca, told the reporters in that one. But the Spain's foreign ministry has experts, they are intervening in that one, and of course they will be revealing the update in that one. Of course, he was hoping to move from Spain to Qatar to participate, to be one of the spectators in the forthcoming World Cup. That was his aim, but he has been arrested. Of course, the Spanish foreign ministry, they have intervened, and they will look into it very, very soon. And lastly, in tennis, Andy Murray is out of Swiss indoors after suffering a straight set defeat by Roberto Bautista Agut in Basel yesterday. Of course, the former world #1 lost 6-3, 6-2 to the Spaniard in the last 16. Bautista Agut fought back from an early service break to win the first set before claiming break in Murray's first and final service. Of course, it's a terrible one for Andy Murray. He has not been in his best form lately, of course. Meanwhile, the British #1 Cameron Norrie also lost to Marcus Giron at the Virginia Open. The 6-3, 6-4 loss to an American in the second round is a setback to Norris' loss. Of course, as all hope in reaching the month's ATP final was lost in that one. Of course, this weekend, league games have resumed from all top leagues across Europe and across the world. Of course, there are several leagues, the English Premier League, Spanish La Liga, German Bundesliga, and the rest of them. They have resumed. We want you to watch and enjoy your weekend with all these matches. Bring you another report on Monday for us. Thanks for now.
Thank you, Sheon, for that sports update. Okay, it's time to listen to the wise advice from Pastor Solomon for this morning. Good morning, Pastor Solomon.
Good morning, my children. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I am so happy. The 28th day in the month of October. October is going gradually. Thank God. By Sunday, October will end. We come to an end.
And by next week, Monday, we'll be shouting Happy New Month. You see? To God be the glory. Praise the Lord. You see? My name is Pastor Solomon. In case you are meeting me for the first time, this is Word of Wisdom segment. And the Bible is my watchword. Since on Monday, I have been coming here. We've been meeting each other. And after today, we'll go and rest. To have a nice weekend. My children, today is Friday. The word of wisdom that I have for you. Concentrate on what you do want rather than what you don't. Concentrate on what you do want rather than what you don't. Simply say concentrate on what you want. Concentrate on what makes you happy rather than what makes you sad. Concentrate on what you want rather than what you don't want. Let me cite an example. A lot of you, this is a political season. A lot of you are supporting one party. Some of you are supporting APC. Some of you are supporting PDP. Some of you are supporting Labour. You are supporting Tinubu, Peter Obi, and Atiku. Instead of you to concentrate on the candidate you are supporting, instead of you to concentrate on the party you are supporting, you focus your attention on the opposition party. You are supporting Peter Obi. You are abusing people that are supporting Tinubu. Concentrate on what you want rather than what you don't. Personally, what will make me sad, I don't even go to it. I don't even read about it. I don't read about what will make me unhappy. Yes, there are news that I listen to. There are news that I don't listen to. There are programs I watch. There are programs I don't watch. Concentrate on what you want. If you don't concentrate on what you want, you are busy concentrating on what you don't want. What time do you have for yourself? To make an impact, to add value to your life. You are busy with something that cannot add value to your life. Sometimes you cannot gain anything from. My children, concentrate on what you do want. Concentrate on what you want. Concentrate on what can add progress to your life. Concentrate on what will make you an achiever. Concentrate on what you want rather than what you don't want. That is the word of wisdom I have for you today, my children. I want you to, I pray that it shall be a blessed weekend in the name of Jesus. Make sure the Bible is your watchword, because the Bible is my watchword. My children, we shall see next week Monday. We shall see so. Ebenezer, Ọmọ Baba General. We shall see on Monday. Have a blissful weekend. Take your wife and children out, so go and enjoy yourself. And have a blast. One of my grandchild who say, have a blast day. So you too have a blast weekend. God will bless you. We shall see so by the grace of God. The Bible is my watchword, though. Make sure the Bible is your watchword. Bye.
Thank you, Pastor Solomon, for that wise advice for this morning. We should always focus on what we want. We shouldn't focus on what we don't really want. Thank you for that. All right, away from what Pastor Solomon said, we saw a message on the social media written by a Nigerian father who warned his son never to marry a lady from a poor background. So it's got so many people's reaction saying, why would he say that? today is Friday actually, so we decided to just bring it here and talk about it because of the way people see what marriage is and the way some parents try to tell their children, be it a son or daughter, never to marry from a poor background, from this ethnicity, from others. So we just had to talk about it this morning. And I still have John, Jefta, and Abiodun with me. So guys, when you heard of that, when you saw the message, let me start from John. What came to your mind? Like a father telling, I don't know why the father said that. I felt maybe he had seen his son going out with a lady from a poor background, so he tried to share it on the social media, like, I've warned you. So he just said, don't marry from a poor background. What's the reaction to that?
Wow. There are so many questions attached to that. You reiterate first, you ask, and then there are so many things to consider. If a man will ask his son, I say, son, I never want you to marry from a poor background. One, that is, the man is trying to tell him that you can see the class we belong. The class we belong, maybe they are from a rich family, and the rich will always do something. They have their like a principle that if you must marry, if their children must marry, you marry among the class. For why? One, for purpose of continuity of wealth, for purpose of relationship. And they would also do something that even their children will not just go to anyhow schools. They want them to mingle, have relationship with high class children. So it is from there they are just building for the future. That is their own mentality. They are building for the future. They want to build a good name. They want to build a good home. They want that wealth to continue. And that is why you always see that it is rare before you will see the rich man children marrying to the less one or the poor one. So the man is trying to build his son. I say, well, when you are about to marry, don't marry from a poor background. Marry someone that can continue that legacy, someone that will do you better in life. Unfortunately, I was reading a post yesterday that was almost going in that line, because someone was trying to research on this present UK Prime Minister that while he's there today, it was because the wife he married. The wife he married she's from a very high class family. And it was on that platform he's able to rise to where he is today. So this is not just happening now. It has been. So even if when the parents see the children going out with maybe an average citizen, average person, they will try to call them to order that, no, I don't want you to marry in that class. That's why you also see them going out as much as they will try in their effort to matchmake their children. They want to maintain same class. They don't want, even in it's all around us. You can see our politicians, they intermarry. It is the same level. So they don't want them to go out of that level, and following the principle that the rich will always continue to be rich
and the poor
will always continue to
No, I don't agree with that.
So,
It's the case of the now present Prime Minister, like you have said.
Yeah.
What if, because it's from a middle class family, what if the father of his wife has not agreed for them to get married?
It would have not been where it is.
Yes.
That is why the yes, okay, I understand the angle you are.
They were rich. The father's the wife's father parent, they are very extremely rich,
and for them they have been together from their college. They attended the same college. Yes, they attended from. They came from the same college. So maybe from there, it is easier for your female child to convince their parents and say, "This is the person my heart have chosen." Than this is. We are talking about a man sitting his son down and saying, "Son,
don't marry.
If you must marry."
Let me get your own reaction also before I ask my question.
Reactions. Okay, situation of things, as things are, people they want comfortability for their words and for their family. So you will not totally blame the father, so to say, because he wants comfortability for the son. He wants the son to have what the best of everything. But at the other side of it, looking at it from my own angle, some people will say maybe because I don't have money, but I just want to be truthful and fact. It's so bad that the community, the society, situations of the country has reduced us to the level that we materialize everything. We don't care about just being satisfied with what
We need.
have. Someone we were discussing with someone some few days back, and the person was saying that, which is a mentality I've always had. If you can afford a house, you have a car, you can send your children to school,
Go to school.
you can buy anything you want to buy. Why want to amass wealth,
What you don't need.
steal money, and you saying it's for your children? Now, parents, because of the society that have glorified wealth so much that even people don't respect you because you don't have money. Your nieces and nephews, for instance, might be coming to Lagos. They will not call Auntie Tolu that I'm coming to Lagos because Auntie Tolu does not have money. You just see them and so you're in Lagos. I came yesterday. But if Auntie Tolu has money and can send them 50,000 every day in school, before they come to Lagos, they'll be the first person to come to Lagos. I'm coming to Lagos, so I'll come to visit you. That is the society where I'm not saying that you don't have money. You have money. So I'm just saying. So they have glorified that wealth. Even seniority now is about money. If you senior me, but if I have money, you call me good morning, sir. Your respect will be based on that money.
You're
because
right.
you can always
You're right.
approach me that guy, give me 10K and I'll be able to give it to you. And you sell just like Esau selling the best right. It's not Esau, it'll be Jacob. As it happened, they said they sold their best right or something. It happened that way because of money now. So what am I trying to say? We should get past that situation. Parents should be more concerned about the happiness of their children, of their words. This person you are saying should get married to a rich person. He will focus his life to get married to a rich person.
Looking for a rich girl from
where you can
a
get
rich family.
people. Then definitely, I'm not trying to bastardize the church or some places, but there are some places that you can really see rich people. If you want to see rich man's daughter, you go to some place that maybe your values is not even okay for you to normally go to those places. If you want to mingle with the rich, you have to go to some certain places that normally it is not even right in your own value, that your value that your religion or your family has brought out. Now we let go of that value. Nobody is concerned about the happiness of the child. If the child marry a rich lady and the rich lady is bullying him because of that wealth, the rich lady is even not being respectful. We were saying something with my friend yesterday that even the ones when we senior for house, when we are they did open mouth, they talk to us one kind. Not to talk to us when you don't have money. So you get imagine that your wife is richer than you. You can imagine it's rare unless that one has a spirit, that extreme spirit of discipline, humility.
Yeah.
Woman get money past you. It's a story for another day. Let's not even go there. But basically, we have to go past that phase of life. Parents should really look inward and look at children's happiness.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. So viewers, you can call in to contribute on the program. Thank you. So Abiodun, don't you think we are just kind of blaming this father? But for me, don't you think maybe the man had an experience, maybe with a lady from a poor background, and he realized she did some things maybe because of the background she came from, and he felt he needed to warn his son not to get involved in that kind of situation. And don't you think so?
I won't blame the father because of the economy that we are in now, because there's a lot of things that is happening. If you are rich and maybe your daughter is planning to marry the son is a rich guy and he's planning to marry a poor lady, it's not going to be balanced at all, because there's going to be issues between themselves. One, for a lady that maybe she's the one that is sponsoring her father, mother, sponsoring school fees for junior sister, doing everything for everybody. I have some people that they will say that when they collect their salary like this, they will share daddy, mommy, brother, sister, everything. And that kind of lady, if they meet a rich guy, if the rich guy sees that this lady, look, though the girl is very good, she's nice, she's beautiful, she has all qualities, but this issue of this background, that she's from a poor background, so that means that if I marry this lady, I'll be the one to pay for the junior sister. All these responsibilities, this can discourage a rich guy, to say, no, I cannot take up all these responsibilities because you are from a poor background. And do we even know, do poor people, rich people and poor people, do they used to meet?
Well,
it's always on this
let's think about what's the definition of being poor.
Exactly.
And what's the definition of being rich?
That's what I'm trying to.
So if we are talking about somebody that can afford 3 square meal per day, you can maybe get a good house, you're staying in a good apartment, you have maybe a car and all that. What's the definition of those? Is it being poor? Does that mean somebody that could not afford 3 square meal in a day and all that?
You may be poor and you may not have, you may be poor and you may have good work, you may have good house, but you may not have connections. You may not be
So you are tagging that kind of person being poor.
You may be average.
The society that we are now, having 3 square meals is not considered as rich. Driving a car is not considered as rich.
Rich, you are average.
What kind of car are you driving? You are driving Corolla. And you call yourself
rich. You are not rich.
The society that we are now, which is very, very disheartening, they don't consider your 3 square meals as being rich. You driving a little car as being rich. You being able to struggle your way to pay for school fees is being rich. No, those are not they still say it's just managing. But let's not forget that we have classes of people.
No, you know we don't practice classes here in Nigeria, but everybody knows that. We don't. You know, when you go to India, and they have classes there. They have lower class, middle class. But here we don't. But here
we ignore it here. It's still here. Some of us we came from a middle class family.
Yes.
We are not extremely rich. We are not poor. As for me, I wasn't raised.
We are not hungry.
We are not hungry, and we are not begging. We just did. We did try. But in this part of the country, we still consider that kind of a person as being poor.
Average.
Or average person. And the father is saying that we don't even want average. It's not enough. We want somebody who can decide to say, I want to go and charge my phone in the US. There are people that are strictly rich that they just wake up one morning, I'm so bored. Daddy, I want to go to the US. And that the same day, they will apply for flight tickets sharply. They don't leave where they go. That's what we are. That is the word we are talking about. Not that you want to travel to the UK and you start begging brother and sister or selling land. No, that is not what we are talking about.
Okay, sorry. Let me just read this from a group. And the person was talking about that there are 3 codes people look for in life.
Okay.
And one of those codes is what we are talking about. It's about who you get married to. Now, this is a quote. It says people rise majorly through 3 codes. Who you marry, who you know that knows you, that's connection, that's the networking, people you move with, you know. And he said the third one is what you know. Okay. So we're talking about who you marry now.
Who you marry.
No, so said somebody now said the first code said, if you miss it here, you may struggle for the rest of your life. That is in marriage. Said, you must be intentional with choosing who to marry. My father said to me, son, don't marry because she satisfies you. You see, he said, you are not looking for a sex machine. Anyone can satisfy a man in bed. Look for the seed of greatness. Son, sound mind, good upbringing, and potentials for growth. And this is what these people look for. These class people we're talking about, rich, wealthy people, you can't just see them come down low. You can't even just see them anywhere around. Like you said, they have a place they meet. So this place they meet, this is where the connection comes in. So they are building the name of the family. They are sustaining that wealth they have. Sometimes it's not even about the material things now, but that name. And that is why you always see some average females. They want to attach to that name. They just want to get anything to attach to that name. Let me just get that name. Let him just. That's why we have all these baby mamas. They just want to affiliation. That's what they are doing now. They just want to affiliate with that name. So those are what many people are doing now. So we know that human, we can, at any time, we can just change, do whatever. It's not because of the character. The father will not tell the sons. It is only on our own level. The average Nigerian or the average father that will tell that, look at the character of whom we want to marry. Look at the background of whom. But for the rich people, for the
just marry from the rich family, and they don't care what might happen.
As much as the child,
they pay the money, we sort everything. They don't care whether the brother does not want me.
But let's consider this.
It is why you will not just see them in public schools. They will be in private schools because they know the class of people that are there. They have built. I have seen someone. Jeff, pardon me. I have seen someone who's intentionally, he said he did everything to put his children in a class school, private school, so that they can be able to, for the future. So that by the time they create that network, they will not lose that network. Even after they are out of school, they can still, one at one time, my friend, where are you now? It's okay. That's how they connect. That is the networking. So that is what they are trying. That is what they are trying to establish, and that is what possibly this man, as a case study, is saying to his son that, okay, look, this is where you should be focused at, and it works for some people. Some people it doesn't work. Some people who did not start like that.
Yes, we have some people who came from humble background.
Who they match make. The marriage might not last. Because they might be finding fault, because they are not the one that look for themselves. Maybe it's just the parent due to connection and the influence they have and the continuity of the business they have together, and they could not sustain the marriage. That's why you see them, and some of them, we have broken homes. So these are the issues.
What I'm trying to say is some people, they came from humble background, like poor family, but due to maybe the kind of potential they have, they nest it, and before you know it, they become rich. Right. And when they tell you their stories, you'll be surprised that, okay, I'm not from a rich family, I came from this family. You'll be surprised, and where they have today, people won't even believe the kind of. And that's why somebody said, don't allow your background to put your back. No, don't consider where you are coming from. Just look ahead where you are going. So I feel the father should have advised him to look out for a lady with potentials. Even if she's not rich, she should have potentials, not a lady who will be relying on your wealth just to milk you. And some people are like that, after milking you, they might leave. So I feel the best advice should have been, look for a lady who have potentials, who you can help. Because if we are looking at rich getting married to the rich, poor getting...
Tolu.
Some people are.
Tolu, it only takes a father.
It's really rare in that situation for you to go through that journey from nobody to somebody. Somebody must give you a link. No matter how you can be striving, always wanting to be somewhere, but somebody will give you that link. Somebody will give you that extra just to get what you want to get.
But
so it's really
for what she is saying, it takes a father who starts from that
humble background.
But for someone who comes from, who have a silver spoon, who starts from,
never talk about that.
Never talk about humble background, but because of what is happening, it takes a man who have values and discipline and is godly to advise a child that way. Because the more you grow, Power corrupt, absolute power corrupt, absolutely. This money that we talk about, the money,
Yes, so-
even by the love of money is the root of all evil. When you start having money, sometimes I used to blame people before when I was some few years ago. I blamed friends that have made it, they don't reach out to you anymore. And now I understand that the more you go up, you meet people in your class, then you tend not intentionally forget where you are coming from, but because you want more money, you start mingling with other people and your friend.
Leaving them behind.
You're leaving them behind. It's just natural. So, if a father that started from poor background have money, it will be hard if the father does not have the right values, keeps the right values, is not disciplined, is not godly. He will still tell the daughter or the
He's
son
not disciplined.
to marry
not
somebody
godly.
who is rich, because he wants to sustain where he has gotten to. The money when they put for bank, they finish now. The money when they use every day. If that is why even somebody who is your helper gets tired. By the time I have 50,000 and I'm a nice person, I give you 10, I give you 10, I give you 10, I give you 10. The money don't finish. So people want to sustain that money. They don't want it to depreciate. So for how do I sustain the money? To advise my son that I have suffered, you must not suffer. So go for something better than me. That's what they want to do.
Even considering a lot of issues happening in marriages nowadays.
They don't want to know.
Just marriage from the rich family.
Just,
Don't even-
some people even take it as trade.
Yes, no.
Let's marry. They know deep inside of them that the marriage will not work. But when I marry, I will bear with you for the next 5 years. I will make what I want to make. If we divorce, we divorce. Some people don't take divorce as anything big now. Even within that 5 years, I would have had the connections I want. We would have opened the boutiques I want. I would have done all the things I need to do to make money. Then if you want to break up, break up. I've made my money. I've gotten the connections. I've done what I want to do.
Okay, maybe because of our classes, the way we reason is quite different. The way the rich reason is different. The way the poor, or let me say the middle class, not the poor, the way we reason is quite different. Because for me, I would have said you should have looked beyond the material things, being rich. Should have just advised the son get married to, because there are times you marry from the rich family and you have issues. Yeah, so it's better for marry the right woman, be it from the poor family, be it from, and you get ready to help that person, because even if he or she has maybe many siblings she needs to help, you are rich, should be able to help. All right.
Most times, like I said in the beginning, people tend to forget about happiness. Deep inside happiness, when money is involved.
When money is
They
involved.
feel money is the
Guys,
happiness we need.
Money is the happiness you need.
So
For some
people
people,
don't even look at
that happiness, that peace of mind is the happiness, not just the money. All right, thank you guys for being part of today's program. This is how far we can go on today's program. Today is Friday. No Morning Delight tomorrow morning, but we resume Morning Delight on Monday morning at 9 a.m. But don't forget to watch the repeat broadcast at 10 p.m. tonight. Do have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.